guys, it's Natalie. Welcome to my channel. I know you're like, what is on your face? You know I only like my crazy makeup looks. So that's what I was doing. It's super early in the morning. You're gonna hear Sean upstairs screaming probably during this because he's playing and I'm trying to film. So that's what's going on. So it's Wednesday. That means it's story time. I feel like when people see my videos, they're like, ew, I hate her makeup. But like, I just can't help it. This is what I like to do. Like, yes, I will do normal makeup if need be. But for me, like, I like the artistry part of the makeup. And I just really like doing looks like this. This is what I enjoy. And yes, I'm getting my voice back finally. Still not feeling 100, but I'm feeling better. Okay, so I am going to tell my story, like part 1 million. I think it's part 5, because technically last week, my lip is so cracked. It's like, oh, it hurts so bad. Last week was just kind of one of my little, like, I'm gonna talk about stuff weeks. So this is like technically, I guess, part 5 of my story. This is the part I don't feel like talking about either, but I'm just gonna do it. This is about when I caught my charges. I have 1 charge on my record. Okay, here we go. I'm just gonna like word vomit it out as best as I can. I mean, I made the commitment, like, here we go, Natalie, just do it, just say it. So I have this charge. Listen, when I tell this story, people don't even believe it. Like, people think that I'm lying. That's how absurd. I'm telling you, when I say that my life is so absurd, like, it's not believable unless you, like, actually know me and are there to experience it with me. That's how absurd it is most of the time. So I have 1 charge. It's a federal charge. I have a federal felony. Witness intimidation charges over a Facebook message that I did not send out. I sat next to someone who sent it, but I apparently masterminded a plan to intimidate witnesses in a federal case, is what I was told. Actually, we were just drunk and we thought it was a joke, like sending a song to somebody. But the feds didn't think it was a joke. So that's what being young, dumb, and alcohol gets you. Actually, the fact that I wasn't a criminal, I think contributed to it because I did not understand the law. I had never been in trouble, and neither had the person who participated in this with me. So let me start from the beginning because I know that it gets kind of confusing, and I'm going to put my hair up because if not, I'm just going to end up playing with it the whole time. So I said that I had been doing pills while I was hanging out with that guy from high school that like was someone you thought would be like a really good person that just kind of got hooked on drugs too, just like me. So I'm gonna try to tell this to the best of my ability without telling other people's business. So there was a group of us and we were all on drugs, and it was not the typical group of people you would think that was on drugs, like your typical druggies. This was like the people who we were kind of from middle class, like cushy, like as in there was not like really problems. Like we came from families that you would think like, okay, those are the kids that are gonna, you know, get through high school and they're gonna go to college and have normal jobs and blah blah blah. Like we were not expecting like us to be like, hey, we're all have serious pill addictions and stuff like that. And we weren't exactly good criminals, I would say, because we didn't come from somewhere where you had to be. So I think we did a lot of stupid stuff because we didn't know any better, maybe. So I was hanging out with this crowd of people, and I did not know that the one person had done some very illegal stuff to obtain some of the pills. There was a federal case open, pretty much. I was originally questioned by them because I had been hanging out with them all the time, but the stuff they were after mainly all happened before I was ever around, or I didn't know about, because like if you're doing super whatever stuff to obtain things, like you're not telling people your business. So I didn't really know. Like they came at me and I'm like, I really don't know. Like the honest to God truth, I don't know. So something happened. There was an overdose death of somebody in my high school, and I had not seen this kid for 5 years, okay? And the night that he died, I happened to be in a bar and see him that night. Well, obviously when I saw him in the bar, he's in there drinking, like, yeah, we were all hanging out, but like, because we were the people that were like doing the pills and stuff, but I did not see any drug deals happen. Like, let's get serious. Who's going to do a drug deal in a bar? Like on the bar? Like that's the only place I was talking to him, was sitting at the bar. So when the feds opened this whole federal case, they were trying to pin this death on somebody. And they wanted me to say, like, you saw this drug deal happen, so we could definitely say it was this one person. And I'm like, okay, but the honest to God truth is I didn't see the drug deal happen. I didn't drive with them. I didn't come with them. I just met them at the bar. Like, they probably did it before. There's nothing I can tell you. So I feel like they didn't really like me because they wanted me to be that key witness that I couldn't be. And I wasn't gonna lie. Like, that's a big deal. Like, I was scared. I didn't want involved. Obviously the whole thing was like super scary and we were freaked out, and our friend ended up going to prison. Okay, well, me and my other friend went to visit him when he first went, and he was like, hey guys, when you get back, delete my Facebook, because you know everyone's talking, blah blah blah. And we're like, okay, we got this, we'll delete it when we get back. So we stopped for lunch. On the way back we start drinking, obviously. Like, that's just who we were back then. And then we get back home to his house, my friends, and it's just a shit show from there. Like, I was 100% blacked out. I only remember so far into that night. So on the way back from the prison, I remember making a comment. I was like, hey, have you ever heard the song I Don't Like by Chief Keef? It goes like a snitch, that's that crap I don't like, it's about snitching. I was like, we should send that to so-and-so, ha ha ha. Because what we had found out was that a majority of the people that we had been hanging out with all this time, were working for the feds the whole time, and we didn't really know. So the whole thing was just kind of a huge mess. So I said that, like, oh, I heard this song about snitches, we should send that to so-and-so, ha ha ha. And we were like, yeah, whatever. Like, I don't even know if he responded to me when I said that. It was just like a stupid comment made in the car. So we get home, we're drinking, sitting on the front porch. I remember it like clear as day. I'm sitting here, he's sitting there, he's on his phone deleting our friend's Facebook. Our friend who asked to delete the Facebook. And he starts going through his messages, and I'm like, I don't even want to know, like, some stuff. I'm thinking, he was like, hey, so what was the song that you said? And I was like, and I said the song, and he ends up sending it, and I thought it was a bad idea, but I didn't think I was gonna get in any trouble. I didn't understand the law. Like, I didn't send anything. Like, what, you know? Well, the feds said that I masterminded this plan. They came for him the next day, and I remember being at work, like, panicking. I was like, what? Because his boyfriend texted me and was like, what did you two do yesterday? The feds, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, in a huge state of panic. So they don't end up coming for me that night, and I'm like, okay, like, obviously they're not coming for me. They would have came for me at the same time they went for him, because it was from his phone. So this is the first time I go to rehab. I end up checking. I'm in such a panic. The person who got in trouble, I've stayed very close to his parents, and they talked me in to going to rehab and like opening up to my parents and telling them about my addiction. So that was my first time going to rehab. I left after like 2 weeks. I met a guy. I met a guy. Oh god, yeah, his dad was a lawyer. Nice crib. Oh, nice crib. He wasn't bad. I don't even know. I feel like I don't even know if he's clean. Who knows what happened to him. So that's all I was worried about, was getting out, hanging out with him. The first day we got out, I hung out with him. We did coke, drank, like it. I used dope. Yeah, it was so stupid because I got out and was hanging out with a boy and I had no confidence. So I needed the drugs. Stupid, stupid, stupid. Like, I can't believe where my priorities were back then. So the feds waited like 2 weeks till I got out. I feel like they knew I was gonna relapse. So they come and get me. They send, okay, my parents live in little like suburbia. They send all these teams of SUV, like federal agents, the local police, to my house. My mom's standing there with our poodle. Like, what is going on? They ripped me out of bed. They're like searching me for guns. I'm like, can you see me, like me and the person? If you saw me and the person together that got in trouble, it's like we weighed like 100 pounds total, soaking wet. Like these little, like, it was just so unbelievable what they were saying. And I'm just sitting there like, is this real? And I remember them taking me, and me, like, for the longest time just not being able to comprehend that this was really happening. Because you know how I just lived like a, I'm not gonna lie, like a privileged middle class life, and it was always like, oh, okay, well, if something goes wrong, like, it ends up getting resolved. Like, I couldn't comprehend that this was not getting resolved. I messed up and I'm paying for my consequences. And to this day, and yes, if you talk to my POs, my lawyers, like so many people, they say, I have never in my life seen charges like this. Like, this is insane. This is the dumbest case I have ever seen in my entire life. And yes, I agree with them. And do I think I should have gotten those charges? No, I do not. Do I think that I am innocent of everything? No, I do not. I do not think I should have gotten the charges, because it was ridiculous to give someone such severe charges over something so stupid and a first offense. Like, it was bizarre. Are there plenty of other things I have done in my life that I should have gotten charges for? Absolutely. Like, am I bitter about the charges that I got, or resentful? I was. Not anymore, because I've decided, you know what, I'm going to take the initiative and do something with my life. I used to sit around and complain that I'm not going to get a job and this and that. Well, it doesn't matter. Look what I'm doing. I'm taking initiative. I know what I want to do with my life, and these charges, like, none of it matters anymore. Like, my past does not matter. People are either going to like me or not like me, and that's how it's been my whole life. You either like me or you don't. But you know what? It does not matter anymore, because I'm doing what I want to do. I don't care what people think about my past, you know? I really don't. At least I'm honest about the skeletons in my closet. And I just want to get better at makeup. I just want to do what I truly love. And if I stay clean and I do the right thing, it does not matter how many years it takes. People are going to see what I'm doing, and they're either going to get on board and like my makeup and see my progress and my work, or they're not. And there's nothing I can do. And whether I had these charges or this past or not, that's still how it would be. Look at the world we live in. You have, for every one follower you have 10 haters bitching you out. Like, that's just how it is. So, sorry, always off on my tangents. So anyway, I get these charges. I was just in such total disbelief that this was happening to me. I end up getting out of rehab. I went right back to rehab. The feds sent me right back to rehab. Got out. Was waiting on pre-trial. That's when I started at Applebee's and met Sean, my son's dad. And I kept messing up. Okay? And let me just tell about my case so that way, like, when I start next week, I can just tell from Sean and on. So I end up being on pretrial for like a year. I get sentenced while I'm 4 months pregnant to 5 months house arrest, 3 years probation. Yes, you're doing the math right. I got off house arrest when I was 9 months pregnant. I got off house arrest at midnight, Friday, September 27th. Cut that ankle bracelet off. They let me do it because I was pretty cool with my POs. Like, I didn't cause any problems. I went to work. I did my thing. I had a drug problem and I messed up on pretrial using, but nothing more. Like, I never did anything other than like fail a drug test or something because I couldn't stay straight. But most of the time on probation, to tell you the truth, until Sean died, I did not use at all. Once I had my son, I got clean. So cut my ankle bracelet off. I went into labor the next morning. I was like, are you kidding me? This would be my life. This would be my life. And I sent Sean to work, and then I went into labor in the shower. I had to wait for him to get home. Oh gosh, it was just a typical day for me. But so yeah, so I ended up getting 5 months house arrest, 3 years probation for that. My POs and stuff could not have been nicer to me. I think they were sympathetic. I think they saw that I really was not a like criminal, like that it was honestly just like a wrong place, wrong time. That does not mean that I didn't do criminal activity. Like I said, like I was not an angel, but for my charges, like it was really, like they should not have given me that. It was crazy. They just were angry and bitter and they wanted me to testify. That's how I felt about it, and that's how a lot of people saw it, I believe. So yeah, I did my time. I got off probation. Like I said, I messed up with using on pretrial a little bit, and then I got clean for years. And then when my son's father died, I relapsed again. But my PO was always very sympathetic with me, because I would always come to him like asking, like, I need help, I need to go to rehab. Like, he knew what just happened to me. He had watched me for 2 years, like, get my life on track, like going back to school, working all the time, never failing a drug test. Like, he knew the kind of person I was, and he knew that I was honest, and he kept like trying to help me, and I'm so grateful for that. But yeah, for the longest time I was just so bitter about those charges, but I'm so grateful that people have there's so much more that could have happened to me other than just that, you know. I'm so lucky to have my life. That's the honest to God's truth. And I'm worried about these stupid charges. Like, I could care less about them now. Like, I don't even care about people knowing. Like, that's just how I am. Like, I don't care. Like, I feel like my parents are more like, oh, we can't. I'm like, I don't care. Like, what? Who cares? Because the way I see it is that does not define me. What defines me is what I choose to do from here on out. I could sit here and whine about how I don't want to be stuck in Western Pennsylvania my whole life. Or I could choose to be like, you know what? Well, I don't want to be. That's my personal choice. So what am I going to do about it to change that? I want to be a makeup artist. Okay, well, what am I going to do in order to make that happen? Like, I just realized one day, like, instead of whining, like, I just got to make the initiative. Like, there is nothing saying that I can't do what I want to do, you know? There just isn't. I don't care about people knowing about it. I just don't. I keep going back and forth in my head, like, should have I made that, like, I don't care. So yeah, that's my story for the week. I will see you guys tomorrow. You know the drill. Like this video, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you tomorrow. I think I might do a makeup, like looky at my makeup thing, because that's what some people were saying, and I don't know what else to film. So yeah, there's that. Alright, love you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.